Hello, Gooner, reporting live from Edmonton, Alberta, which is redundant because I said the same thing twice. So I was gonna cover the result of the Arsenal Liverpool. I did do the preview. I predicted Arsenal to win 1-0. To be honest, we could have won 4-0. But I'm not going to get into that now. I'll get into it a little bit as we go on because I'm going to talk about transfers. I'm going to talk a little bit about my predictions of what's going to happen in terms of how I would rate the window for each of the big six. And I'll put the two dark horses in. And also, I'll talk about the transfers that have happened so far. So at the moment, it's only been one team that's been proactive. What I mean by proactive, and when I say proactive, right, obviously that means is doing things before something happens, right? So proactive would be packing free onesies just in case your daughter poops through her diaper and it goes onto one of your onesie. That means you can change the onesie, get another one in, and then, wow, you predicted the future. Proactiveness. So Ange Postecoglou, was it after or was it the preview? I think during a press conference, let me just say a press conference. During a press conference, he discussed 2 days into the window that he had expected business to already have been done. Why did Ange Postecoglou say this? He was like, "Hey mate, hey journalists, Donkaroos, I expected business to already be done." In a previous press conference, he discussed the fact that Tottenham were only a couple of points away from the top. 1 point away from Arsenal. He also said 6 points away from the top, which means that he's got his head screwed on right. He's thinking, I'm not trying to go for top four. I'm trying to go for the title. Regardless of that, Tottenham Hotspur, I will respect them. I won't call them Tottenham Fried Chicken today, have signed Dragunski already. I don't think I said his name correctly. He is Romanian, so anyone from Romania or from any Scandinavian countries, if you can put in the phonetics of his name and how to say it properly, that would be lovely. So basically, what has happened is that they've signed him, and they've signed him only for 25. Bayern Munich went in as well, but to the best of my knowledge, this is the way it works. You did not beat Bayern Munich to him. He had already agreed terms with you. You've already done all of the paperwork. I'm pretty sure that what has gone on is that the transfer team in Granada had already had the paperwork done before Bayern have got in and done the offered or submitted their bid. They did accept the bid, but it is what it is. He said, I've already committed to Tottenham Hotspur, and obviously the paperwork is already in file. So it's just like, I'm already going there. I'm very young, right? I do believe he used to play for Juventus. Then after he moved around inside Serie A and he's ended his way here. And so he's 25, he's very young. This is a great deal for two reasons. One, Romero he's very good, consistent. When I talk about players, I don't say world class or any of that stuff. I say A, B, C, D. A D class player would be what you would call below championship level. C class player is, okay, yeah, he can play inside the Premier League. B is, oh wow, he does something on the pitch. He is a contributor to wins. If he wasn't on, you might have lost. An A player would be what maybe you would deem as world class, but I would say no. A player is a game changer, someone that is able to take the game by the scruff of the neck and control it. That would be your Salahs. That would be your Kevin De Bruyne's. That would be your Erling Haaland's. Okay, he is not. In my personal opinion, I don't know if he's a C or a B. But at the end of the day, you do have Romero. He is a B tier player. I believe that he's really good everywhere. The only thing he's not good at is staying on the pitch. He gets injured and he gets fouls a lot. And so what I would say is that Ange Postecoglou and the Tottenham Hotspur recruitment team are proactive. They're very proactive. They have Got that deal finalized. He's done it. He's probably done his medical right now. He's probably training. He's probably going to be ready for the Manchester United game. And to add to that, they did get Werner, the burner, Timo Werner on loan. It is a loan. I do believe they have a 17 million option to buy. Why? I think that both of these signings are good dealings. One, with the Werner, he is not guaranteed to be a regular starter. He would be what you would call a fringe player. Someone that would be in order for you to either rest players, or if players are injured, or if players are on international duty, aka the Asian Cup, like Human Son is. So what I would think they would try to do is, they do have Richarlison, who is like, he's terrible. He's terrible. Let's just like I'm saying with all of this tier list or whatever, I would say Richarlison is a D tier player. He would do very well in the Championship, but in the Premier League, he is like, he'd be lucky. Like right now, I believe he has more goals than all of my front line. But my front line consists of Eddie Nketiah, who's a D tier player, and Gabriel Jesus, as who he is a B tier, but in terms of his scoring, he's not a good goal scorer. He's a fundamentalist. He will be what your Bobby Firmino was for Liverpool. Except the fact with Bobby Firmino, what he's able to do is every now and then chip in with a critical goal. Gabriel Jesus does not have any composure when it comes to finishing. The only composure he has is diving, and that's about it. And he has good cheek bone structure, which makes him a good Arsenal player. Anyone that could be a model is an Arsenal player. Why? Because we need to sell that much. You get me? We're not a serious club. We're not proactive. Anyways, we'll get to Arsenal soon. So, at the moment, Tottenham Hotspur are being proactive, and I do believe that Thibaut Werner, is someone that will be able to get them at least 7 goals. That sounds terrible, but 7 goals in the Premier League is the difference between you being second and third because of goal difference, right? When Maddison comes in or comes back in, he's going to be able to get key passes to Werner, whether he's off on the wing, off the left, or he's playing striker. And because he's fast, he'll be able to get behind. Is whether or not he's able to beat the offside, like he was unable to do when he was at Chelsea. Is whether he's able to actually put his foot through the ball, like he was unable to do at Chelsea. It is yet to be seen. But last season, I believe, for RB Lightskin, he scored more than, I think he scored 22 goals. Correct me if I'm wrong. This season, he has only scored, I believe, 2 goals, but he has barely played, which is obviously why he's on loan. He wants to join the German international squad for the Euros. In order for him to do that, he needs to play. Son is gone. Richarlison is our ass cheeks, like absolute ass. He's garbage, and so he's going to feature a lot in the side while Son is gone, in my opinion, in the striker position. So at the moment, Spurs are doing very well in the transfer market. I believe they're going to have a really good window. I believe like a C tier window. And what I mean by that is they're not going to. So what you do in the transfer window and winter window is you assess what has happened so far in the season and you address all of the issues. Spurs' issues right now is they have a weak bench. They don't have a. Son's playing striker, but he's not a striker. He's technically speaking what Arteta wants in a player is someone that's able to play all across the front line. So his strongest position, in my opinion, is still off of the left, but he's playing striker right now and playing it very, very well. So your striking position is one of your weaknesses. You do have a weak bench as well, and you need to address your center back positions, which you've done all but one. You do need another midfielder that is creative. I'm not too sure if Ben Couture can stay fit throughout the whole season. I'm not too sure if Lo Celso is able to do a job when Maddison is if Maddison does miss time again. You did miss in my opinion. A lot of the games you drew and a lot of the games that you lost is solely because of Maddison. Obviously, what's his name? Van der Heck. I can't remember your centre back's name. My apologies. But when he pulled his hamstring, obviously that hurt your defense. But it wasn't. your defense was always, when people shoot, they're gonna score against you. So what's happened is that basically your defense wasn't your strong suit, your attack and your creativity was your strong suit, and Madison's gone, which hurt you, which means you couldn't score 3 goals, 2 goals, 5 goals, your high goal return. So at the moment, I believe you're going to have a C-tier window. I believe you're going to address some of the issues, but you're not going to have a deep enough bench. We're going to go to Arsenal right now because we have done some business. Have we done business? No, we haven't done business. What we've done is we're being reactionary. We needed to get a striker in, and we should have already bid for a striker before like done the groundwork before, unless they've done the groundwork before for what's this guy's name, Borja Mariel, I think that's his name. Unless we've done the groundwork for Borja Mariel, who we've just put in a bid for 22 million, it got rejected. Unless we've done that groundwork before, and this was not like Tottenham Hotspur right across the road, they're doing business, let's get some business done for PR, then I guess maybe we are being proactive. This guy is what you would call an FM, a failed wonder kid. FM is not real life. Because he's a failed wonder kid does not mean that when we buy him, we can ignite something and it will become Erling Haaland. But I'm not going to be hyperbolic. I'm not going to say that if we do get him, which I'm hoping we do actually try and push for this. I'm not happy with it. I'm not content with it, but it's something to start off with. So if we push on and get this striker, Borja Mayoral, I do believe that what he would do is, at least, like I'm saying, like with Werner, I said 7 goals. He can do the same thing that Werner's done, at least 7 goals. Why is that important? Last season, when we were good, it might have been a blip. We had everybody in that front 4. So that is Ødegaard, Saka, Gabi Martinelli, Gabriel Jesus. Technically speaking, was it Nketiah or Gabriel Jesus? Because Gabriel Jesus was missing most of the season, or large parts of the season. So what we did have is the goals were spread around. This guy is 6 foot. He's got a different profile than Gabriel Jesus. I do not watch the Spanish league. I do not watch La Liga. I don't know what he can do. But if he is 6 foot, I'm of the assumption he can at least score a couple headers. We cross that ball, ping, 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 and no one. When we do get headers, Kai Havertz shanks it wide, or uses poor technique and doesn't get it through. I'm hoping he knows how to header a ball. So I'm gonna quickly just take a look at his stats. So for Cafe, so far he's played 78 games and scored 29 goals. Okay, that's not terrible. That's it's like a goal every 3 games. He's been on loan a lot. Like I said before, he was a Real Madrid fell kid, so he's been to Wolfsburg. He played 21 games, scored 2 goals. He went back to Real Madrid, and for his whole Real Madrid career, he's only played 33 games and scored 7 goals. It doesn't seem like he's much of an assister, because his assist return is not the best. His best assist return is with Roma, which is 56 games, 18 goals, and 8 assists. But for Getafe, I think that that's where he's shining. But what the difference is that in the Premier League, you don't get as much space, which is why I am saying that if we are able to cross the ball to this 6 foot striker, if he has a head, maybe he can head it in. But these are all if, buts, and maybes. I don't know this guy. But what I'm saying is that I am not optimistic of the signing. What I am is can anyone do better than Eddie Nketiah? Eddie Nketiah's bar is so low. It's so low. In fact, our whole front line halfway through the season's bar is so low. All you have to do is score more than 6 goals and you beat that return. So all he has to do is score more than 6 goals, and in my opinion, it's a good transfer as long as we do not spend an amount of money that is for a better striker. What I mean by that is I believe Boniface's release cost is 34 million. If we're like, obviously we might be doing installments for this transfer deal, which could mean that obviously we're like up front we're paying less. And with Boniface, his release cost is 31 million. But as long as we're not spending like to the amount where it's like, oh, we could have got someone that is slightly better. But what's good about this is if we buy him, hopefully we can sell and move on Eddie Nketiah in the summer, and then that could mean that we have Gabriel Jesus, we have Mayoral, and potentially could bring in what we need, which is an A-tier striker. In fact, Arteta's first signing should have been a striker. That's how you build. Like, if you're gonna get rid of Aubameyang, you buy a striker. But that's neither near here or there. I don't want to go over 20 minutes, so I'm not going to rant too much. I think what I'll do is that I've covered Arsenal and Spurs right now, and maybe I'll cover the other teams in a different video. But what I would say is that I do believe Arsenal's going to have a D-tier window. I do believe that this transfer was reactionary. It's based off the fact that people keep throwing out, oh, you need a striker, you're not scoring, to Arteta, to the board. I did read an article earlier today saying that Stan Kroenke did approve a cash injection, which is nice because I read the article maybe about 4 hours ago, and then this transfer this bid has gone through. I'm not too sure about how much he did inject, but we can add a lot of money because he doesn't add any money. Like, if you just search in owners' cash injections in the Premier League, you will see that Arsenal's money in the transfer window is generated from all of our merch, which is why I'm okay with us buying good-looking, sexy models that flick their hair on the pitch and all that crap, because it sells what generates funds for our club. That is what our club has been doing for the last 20 years, is we've been using good-looking players that can't really play football but have good touches and then do the bare minimum, that have good abs, nice bums, good skin tones, nice haircuts, to sell merch, which is why we have the most kits, which is why we have the best kits, is because it's to sell merch, and that's how we generate money for our transfers. But I did say Arteta out. I am still Arteta out. I do believe that this window's a D. I'm not too sure that we're going to do any more business. And if we do more business, I believe it's going to be of the tier of Kivior. Hopefully, the striker is not of the tier of Kivior, but that is what I do believe. I do believe Spurs will have a better window than us, because so far with Ange Postecoglou's reign, they have shown to be proactive. But let's not forget that Spurs usually do this when they get a new manager. In the comment section below, tell me, do you know who this guy is? Like, who he is? Do you know who he is? Do you know who Mayoral is? Do you watch the La Liga? Can you tell us any insight? Is he good? Also, tell us, do you think that Spurs are going to do any more business? I think they're going to sign one more player at least. That is the end of the video. Thank you so much for listening to me.